Welcome. Chapter 228 leaks for Jujutsu Kaisen, courtesy of Miyamura on Twitter, as he provides all leaks, panels, pages, descriptions, and translations. So with that being said, his handle will be in the description down below. Let's get into these spoilers. So the chapter starts with someone saying, a small barrier will logically enhance the stability of the barrier, but it looks smaller than a basketball. Kusakabe says impossible again, as he's in pure disbelief. But Meme comments how many times we've had it's impossible now. So basically what Meme's saying here is that Kusakabe, you shouldn't be surprised by things that are quote unquote impossible, because this is just something we see every day. And especially from this fight, we've had like 10 quote unquote impossible moments alone. Kusakabe then argues that usually trapping yourself and your opponent inside a barrier with mass less than yours would collapse. But Choso enlightens them by saying that Gojo's pulling off this feat by using his experience from being trapped inside the prison realm. So basically, Gojo has put Sukuna in his own prison, which is kind of hype. It's good to see that the prison realm is pulling benefits for Gojo. Kusakabe again starts saying how can they change their domain's conditions, especially barriers, because it's a mix of a lot of conditions. Now Higuruma and Hakari are like, really? To which Kusakabe answers that their domains are exceptions because their domains are built within their cursed techniques. I just love that how these two are both like, really? Like, now we did that before. And then of course, Kusakabe has an answer for them too. Meibe says, maybe Gojo wanted to try and cover Malevolent Shrine's whole range. Just then, Gojo's domain barrier starts to tremble heavily. Yuta realizes that even Sukuna must have adjusted the shrine's range to small to enhance the output. Then Angel says if the barrier is destroyed, then Gojo is finished. And of course, after Angel says this, we are shown a page of Gojo's domain being broken for the third time in this fight. And I'm like, damn, Sukuna, like, bro, how? Like, why does Sukuna keep winning these domain clashes, man? Like, come on. Yuji watching the scene unfold gets nervous, but soon Sukuna's shrine starts to fall apart one by one. And boy, am I happy about this, because this means we're going to be seeing these two fight with their techniques rather than their domains. At least I hope so. Let's just continue with the leaks and see what happens next. But let's be real, you and I both know what happens next. Sukuna is injured as his domain collapses due to battle against Gojo. I mean, come on, is it obvious? Stop doubting the GOAT Gojo, man. I was just testing y'all to see if y'all was really gonna fold. And after seeing this feat from Gojo, Hakari and all of the other sorcerers are hyped. And I just know at this moment, Kashimo is like, I may have traveled 400 years into the future for the wrong opponent. Back to the chapter. Just as Sukuna destroyed Gojo's barrier from the outside, Gojo also dealt enough damage to a point where Sukuna could no longer maintain his domain. And again, GEGE Akutami just making this fight so unpredictable that literally anything can happen. Nobody was going to predict something like this happening. And with this fight, GEGE is truly making an amazing case for cursed energy being one of, if not the greatest power system in all of anime. And also, this page right here is absolutely stunning with the face-off between Gojo and Sukuna. It looks like Gojo's having so much fun, and same thing applies to Sukuna. Actually, a beautiful and stunning page. GEGE Akutami really knows how to orchestrate a masterpiece of a fight such as this. And now Higuruma says, since both Sukuna and Gojo's domains have collapsed, they can no longer use cursed technique. And Maki adds on to this, saying that Gojo can heal his burnt out cursed technique like he did the last time. But Angel adds in saying that since Gojo has showed this in front of Sukuna, Sukuna has learned to do it as well. And now this adds another level of caution for Gojo, being the genius that he is. In terms of basic fundamentals of Jujutsu and how far he can take it, he needs to be very careful what he displays to Sukuna, because Sukuna can really just pick up on anything Gojo does and do it as well. And then the next page says that with just one time of Kenjaku helping Sukuna split his soul into 20 cursed objects, Sukuna was able to pick up on how he could do this himself. And just like that, Sukuna can now recover his burnt out technique with RCT because Gojo showed it to him. Basically reinforcing what I was just talking about there. And with that narration over, Gojo and Sukuna begin to fight once more. And man, of course we get amazing choreography in this chapter like we have with all the other chapters. But these guys are fighting with raw stats, man, crushing buildings with relative ease. Even without Jujutsu, they are on another level. And man, would I be crazy to say this could have a case for top 1 fight of all time in like any anime or manga? Would I really be crazy for having this take? But back to the fight. Gojo kicks Sukuna and starts to wonder why Sukuna is not trying to use his curse technique other than Shrine. The 10 Shadows is what he's talking about. In fact, until his domain was destroyed, Gojo had a lead against Sukuna for almost 3 minutes, so he wonders why Sukuna is taking such a risky option. And we all know what these kinds of monologues mean in manga and anime, so let's just get to the point. Gojo tries to understand why Sukuna didn't use the 10 Shadows or Mahoraga within the domain. Gojo knows that Sukuna has the memory of him and Megumi talking about Mahoraga in the first place. Just as he was wondering, Mahoraga's wheel clicks a turn and Gojo begins to feel dizzy. And then he gets a nosebleed. Jujutsu Kaisen will not be on break next week. Now, in my opinion, Gojo definitely had the lead in this chapter. He looked more impressive, he had Sukuna on the ropes, but obviously Sukuna on the other hand had a plan that he was concocting and we don't know if it's gonna go through. The interesting thing here is that I'm surprised that Sukuna is going ahead and pulling out the 10th Shikigami, Mahoraga, right out the gate. I was expecting him to go through the entire gauntlet of the 10 Shadows and hey, maybe he still will. Maybe Mahoraga will get crushed and defeated and obliterated, and then it will fuse into another Shikigami, giving it the trait to Mahoraga. And I believe that this is most likely the case because we have to see the 9th Shikigami at some point, and if anybody's gonna draw that out, it's gonna be Gojo. Second of all, we have to give props to King GEGE himself for making this fight go on as long as it has, and just now having Sukuna pull out the 10 Shadows. I think that is insane. We were all expecting Sukuna to pull out the 10 Shadows within the first 3 chapters, and the fight went on for 6 without being shown like Mahoraga, the 10 Shadows, anything else from it, just Shrine and Infinity. I really wonder where this fight's gonna go at this point, and I'm done trying to predict how it will go because every single chapter there's something new that comes right out the gate that nobody predicted. Every chapter, man. I just think it's pointless at this point to try and predict this series. And the fact that we can still be surprised at this point while having such a high quality fight going on weekly, GEGE's on another level. I'm sorry, my Lord King God GEGE is built different. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Stayed up very late to cover these leaks, so if you enjoyed my coverage, please leave a like, subscribe, and of course the review will be coming next Thursday. And I will see you guys in the next one. Go to bed, it's too late for this. At least if you're in the United States, go to bed, bro. Have a good night.